What's going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got our first PGA Tour live stream coming at you guys here on a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening with my main man, Bet with the Boys, aka Teaser Nation. If you guys have been with us before, you guys know the drill. My man Teaser holds it down each and every year. One of the sharpest PGA minds in the landscape, and I'll say it in all of the betting industry, I've learned everything from him. So
appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. We have the 2025 season got underway last week. We skipped it. We usually start on the Sony. I think like 3 years ago we made it in the Century, and we were like, never again. Let's just start on the Sony. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're at. We're excited to get going as always. Teaser, how are we feeling tonight, buddy?
Good. I'm excited to be back for another year. Hopefully we get a lot of outrights this year. We're kind of incorporating some new stuff for this year, some fun, like more, engagement type things, a different type of models and stuff like that. So more interactive and, data to show where we're kind of pulling stuff from. But yeah, just a recap of last week. I know we didn't do it, but I don't know if anyone really watched much of it because, New Year's Eve kind of around that time, but it was just a birdie fest. Not really much wind out there. Matsuyama pretty much made everything on, not a great putter, but he made pretty much everything he was looking at, hold out a few times, stuff like that. Morikawa with another second place. I'm sure that's going to happen, 7 times this year to him. That's kind of been a theme with him the past couple of years. But, yeah, looking forward to another year, and we're going to hopefully get, 10 outrights each this year, and maybe Scheffler kind of, keeps that hand, keep him out a couple months. So
I was not excited. Obviously, you don't want to see anybody hurt, but when that came through, I was just like, my immediate thought was, wow, we have some value now. Oh boy, now we can finally it's opened up for the first month, which is nice. Because if you guys tuned in last year, you guys knew the drill. We just faded Scotty all year long, and we were top 10s, top 20s. Replacements were great, but man, the outrights were either some crazy outright or it was Scotty Scheffler. So
yeah, it was tough. I mean, we can also go over some guys we think will break out and some comeback players, but I'm thinking a couple guys should get back in the winner's circle right this year. I mean, some of the top guys, like just to name a few, like JT, maybe a Cantley type guy. So hopefully some of those guys get back in there, and it kind of disperses the long shot to Scheffler market. Maybe get some middle guy range wins in there. So
yep, and so if this is your first time tuning into the PGA stream, I know every Sunday morning we were going live for the NFL. So every Tuesday night we will go over basically the tournament that's going on, and we will give out our research of it all. We'll talk about the course history, kind of what characteristics and stats and attributes you should be going for on all of your players that you're looking at, and then we will go over basically our placement bets. Top 10s, top 20s, top 40s. We'll include some tournament matchups, and then we'll go through outrights, DFS talk all the way through. So if you guys are new to betting golf, we would love to hear your questions. What are the plus EV bets, anything like that? Just tune in each and every week, and trust me, you'll make some money with us. We've been doing it. This is I think year 5. It feels like it might be 4 or 5.
It's flown by too. Yeah,
I know. You'll kind of hear us talk about our specific guys that we've backed over and over again and gotten multiple winners from, also gotten burned by them at the same time. So if you guys want to stop, ask any questions, we will answer them throughout the stream. We'll be here more than likely 30 to 45 minutes, basically depends on the particular tournament. In this case, probably only be 30 minutes with the Sony Open, and pretty straightforward tournament this week. So as we get going, make sure you guys leave a comment. We'll get Teaser involved here and get the course preview. We got a couple comments. What's up, Sharp? Says, what's up? We're ready to roll, buddy. We got Brandon here. What's up, buddy? What's going on? And let us know in the chat. Love to hear from you guys. So, Teaser, take it away. Give us who you should be targeting, what should be targeting, and how this course lays out.
Yeah, so I'll keep kind of the preview short this year, but really this is pretty much the opposite course from last week. Last week was a long course. This week is a par 70 coastal course, obviously in Hawaii. Not too many water holes, about 4 of them out there, and then everything Bermuda, so fairways, rough, and greens are Bermuda. It's pretty much a shot maker golf course, so narrow fairways, emphasis on hitting fairways and good drives percentage, a lot of dog legs and unpredictable rough. So you really just want to stay in the fairways at this course. So a lot of emphasis on strategy and position. So it favors more of the shorter hitters. That's kind of why we've seen a lot of different winners here from the past couple of years, like Hideki, Grayson Murray last year, Russell Henley always competes here. So it's a multiple different type of guys. And then really the course places a premium on par 4 scoring. 11 holes are in the 400 to 480 yard range. So kind of looking at some guys that excel at par 4s from that range. And then really a key stat for approach, the greens are really receptive. So, I mean, these guys hit these greens 70%, 80% of the time throughout the data this course has. And then it'll kind of test the mid-iron performance of these golfers. So 68 to 70% of the shots come from 125 to 200 yards. So it's going to kind of be in that range throughout the tournament. So that's a little preview of.
It's wild that basically last week, usually you could take like good form, recent form from the previous week, and it kind of bolts over into this week. Well, with that being 2 different types of courses, I think you kind of throw out last week for the most part. Not entirely, obviously that'd be foolish, but I think you could look at it and say, yeah, that's kind of fluky. Or like for me this week, like I've seen a lot of love for Sepp Straka, and for me, I don't think he fits this course very well. Right. So he fit last week very well because he's a long hitter. And if his putter gets hot, he's obviously any putter gets hot, they're in the hunt. But I think this week it's a good guy to fade overall. But we'll go over that shortly about who we should target. But I like that. This is kind of a more predictive tournament. Mm-hmm. It's very similar to the Masters, where course history kind of rules.
Right.
Everybody knows Augusta. If you don't know the ins and outs of Augusta, you're going to basically struggle. Kind of the same type of course here, where you have to know where to hit it off the tee, placement around the greens with the greens. I think they're undulated as well. So you got plenty of similarities here. So course history, I'll rule that over recent form for this tournament.
Yeah, and I'll say the one thing that's challenging with this to kind of cap is the windy conditions in Hawaii, and that can make this course pretty tough, because you have to hit the fairways at this course. So that's kind of monitor that throughout the week. I know that's kind of unpredictable because you never know, but that can kind of make it play a lot tougher if it gets up, the gusts get up this week. So
that's true. Yeah, because this is on a coastal course, so make sure of that. So, all right, so let's get into some of our targeted golfers that will be going after on what are you going to do this week? Are you going to do top 10s or top 20s or 40s at all?
I'll probably stick to top 20s. I think maybe sprinkle in a couple top 10s, but we'll see about that.
Okay. All right. So we'll pull up our model here real quick as we kind of this is for the over at Betspert Golf that we were using. What were we using? The Golf Nation one, or what was that?
I think the Tour Picks one. So it's like I just got this year. It's actually a pretty interesting site. So I mean, I spent like a couple hours a day going through all the data and stuff. But yeah, this is just kind of a model that they had up there already. But if you wanted to get the site, you can make whatever you want. You can plug in whatever you think, fits what you need at the course. So this one I thought was pretty cool. They have I think 10 to 15. There's a couple if you scroll right as well. But I mean, the big thing with this, I know you and I both talked about it before, is obviously Russell Henley is popping out everywhere on the Twitter golf world. I mean, he has a right to do that. I mean, he always contends here. So, I mean, I personally am always liking Russell Henley here. I mean, he's had, I believe, 4 top 20s here. Out of the last 4 years he's played here, 3 top 15s and 4 top 40s. So, he's always really in contention here. Should have won the 1 year, but Hideki stole it in a playoff. Really what I'm looking at with Henley is just the good drives percentage and the driving accuracy. He's three in the model in driving accuracy, and then obviously stroke gain around the greens. He's always good there in ball striking. So those are the few I'm looking at with him. Strokes gain approach as well. So that's the kind of the first guy I'll start with.
Yep. And, Henley's going to be very popular this week. If you are on, some DFS routes there, you have, I think he's coming in. I mean, you're at 25% ownership right now, which is pretty heavy in PGA golf. I think the better alternative there, nice pivot, would be the number 3 spot here, Keith Mitchell.
Yeah.
Not a pivot necessarily, but I think a better play overall at 7,300 instead of 9,900. And you got a top of the model guy, which is only coming in at 6% ownership, which is kind of surprising. So I think that'll grow towards Thursday. But one guy that I liked, or I didn't like a lot last week, but I saw a bunch of people on, was Brian Harman. He basically fits this course like a T. Basically not that. Actually, he's actually, I would say he's a lot further than what he started out as a pro off the tee, but he's still very short. And really, throws dots out there on the green. So I really like Harman, and then right above him, Keegan. I think Keegan's going to have another big year. I think he's prime. He's basically. I was always doubting him, and then last year, for whatever reason, something clicked with me, and I was like, okay, Keegan Bradley is #good. So I need to start paying attention to him. And then from that point, he just kind of took off. So I like him a lot this week. If you've tuned in to any of my streams ever, you know that I have literally a crush on Corey Connors. I wish I could play the golf just like him. He fits this golf course tremendously. And then a couple other ones. McNeely will be good. And then my other top one that I probably have my favorite play of the week on is going to be Tom Kim. So I'll give that away in a little bit. But yeah, Tom Kim, he's the cover boy for a reason. But Tom Kim, if you ever watch Tom Kim play, you know exactly what you're going to get from him. Can putt the lights out and basically gets it incredibly close. That's why he's such a good damn putter. And his short game has got to be top 5 in the world.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off one guy, I mean, I kind of like the Keith Mitchell. It's funny because you wouldn't think he actually plays well here, and it's kind of opposite because he's long off the tee, but he's so good strokes gain off the tee that it doesn't really matter, and he's far down there. He can kind of hack it out of the rough even if he has to. But yeah, just kind of looking at his course experience and history, I think that's kind of a possible top 20 I might hop on as well. So.
And we got a question here. Good question. We got Elaine in here. Says, Dots, baby, what's going on, Elaine? And we got Brandon with a question. Is Kurt Kitayama a possible top 20 or better play? What do you think, Teaser?
Yeah, I mean, in the model, he's always, I think, last 36, last 50 rounds, he ranks top 10 in approach, off the tee, and ball striking. The thing with him is he kind of sprays it off the tee a little bit. That's kind of the one weakness with Kitayama. So he's in the model, he's bottom 3rd and total driving and driving accuracy. He's kind of a guy who it's hard to cap him. He can really just pop off at any time. And Hawaii Coast, of course, he does kind of play good at coastal courses. So I wouldn't mind a top 20 depending on the odds. I think probably
Let's see what it
maybe
is.
3-4
It's
to 1.
plus 150. Plus
Plus
150 on
150.
DraftKings. Yeah. Which I think is pretty I thought it would be higher, in my opinion.
I would think like 2 or 3 to 1. That's what I was thinking. But
so I probably fade overall because basically it comes down to him off the tee. And I don't know what his last several rounds have been, but so I just looked at his course history. It's gotten better each and every year that he's played. He had a cut, tied for 73rd, and then a tied for 24th. But when he's got a cut or tied for 73rd, he's missed, basically a stroke and a half off the green or off the tee.
Yeah.
But when he was tied for 24, he gained 1.1 strokes off the tee. So it really just depends on that. And I think at plus 150, it's more of a fade in my opinion than it's not much value there because he could basically miss the cut in my opinion if he struggles off the tee. So he's a kind of a fade in my opinion. What do you think, Tees?
No, I completely agree. I think that's one thing in 2025 I want to kind of look at more and like talk about with you is just the value on top 20s.
Yeah.
So like if you like Kitayama, I don't think the plus 150 is worth it at all. Like I think it's a 2 to 1 or a better type play. So I think that's something we'll definitely look at more this year, and I don't think it's worth it at that price.
And so I kind of want to do this year as well for DFS is more take a smaller player pool and be more condensed and fade, take a stand and basically say this guy, it's what the model's telling me. It's what the ownership's telling me. The price is telling me, let's go ahead and fade it. Because in years past, I would be like, all right, Kurt Kitayama, 8,600, probably a good value play, but he's 12% owned now. 12% owned, kind of at 8,600 for Kurt Kitayama just doesn't seem right in my opinion. So we're going to talk all the mad stuff on Kitayama, and he's going to go ahead and win the damn thing this week. So that's typical. But no, we're going to try to take a better stand for you guys. Hopefully that helps you guys make better decisions while, and that's kind of how you become a better and a better DFS player is when you can take those particular stands and hey, you're going to be wrong some weeks, but then when you're right, you're going to be right. And then you're going to absolutely win tons of money from it. So that's where you got to, take those stands and make those decisions. So good question there. I like that question. So keep them coming. All right. So yeah, top 20, probably my favorite bet is going to be Tom Kim at minus 105. I've probably stressed this in the past. Like if it was minus 105, I wouldn't take it. Or minus anything. But I think I'm going to change that. I think, but I'm obviously not going to take like a minus 140 or a minus 200 or anything like that. But I think anything minus 110 or below, including ties, make sure including ties if you're going to do that, to go ahead and take those bets. But so Tom Kim would be one of my top 20, my favorite top 20s. What would be yours?
Well, I already kind of talked about him. I think it's probably going to be Henley. I do no tie, so I would probably with him I would do plus 110. But
got it.
Another guy I've seen a lot this week, which kind of scares me. I would never take him to win because he's not going to win. But it's Ben Griffin, and I like the odds. It's plus 220 right now, or I think 210. And anything over 2 to 1 is I think good with him. He's came in 12th here 2 years ago and a 30th. He's just another guy. This course pretty much fits. He kind of pops in the model as well, ranked 4th. Kind of what he's good at is around the greens. Total driving isn't too great. I honestly thought the driving actually would be a little better.
Ben Griffin, you said, right?
Yeah,
Ben 200, yeah.
So, just the strokes gain on approach, if you kind of scroll to the right a little bit. So a strokes gain approach will always be there with him. Off the tee, that's where it kind of gets a little sketchy. But, with these positional courses with him, we see him at RBC Canadian Open. We see him contend at a lot of these positional courses. The putting is great from 5 to 15 feet usually. I will say that
driving accuracy kind of scares me with this guy.
I know. I actually, it does scare me a bit. I didn't.
It's the same thing with Kitayama, though. You gotta take the good with the bad. But I mean, even Hideki and Keith Mitchell, Hideki, it's not the end all be all. But let's just make that clear. It's not the end all be all, but it's a good factor to look at.
Right, because Bangor, I would say he's like medium off the tee. So yeah, it's just for him. Just the strokes gain approach numbers are usually really good with him. So that's and with the value again, it's the plus 210 that I really like with him. So that's another guy I'm going to be going for. So
this is the part that Seb, maybe he's gotten better at his game. Fifth off the tee in driving accuracy.
right, yeah, it's weird with Seth. Like we see him contend at a lot of short courses, and then like it's weird. He's one of those inconsistent kind of guys. But
the Lucas Glover, aka Swamp Ass, if you guys have not been to the stream before, I call him Swamp Ass all the time. If you've watched golf, he literally just walks around with Swamp Ass all the time. He is an intriguing play for me, and maybe it's because I had such a crush on Swamp Ass all last year, and he never paid out. And I'm like, I'm just keep chasing it. Might as well keep chasing it. But Lucas Glover, 7th overall driving accuracy. He has a top 5 finish here. Otherwise, other than that, it is dog shit here. So it's maybe he strikes gold one more time here and gets us a top 5 finish. But if you want to go maybe a top 20 with him, which I think his outright's like 80-1. So it's nothing. So he's plus 260 for top 20 if you wanted to get crazy with it. But yeah, it bodes well with being accurate off the tee. But obviously you've seen strokes gained around the green is horrific. And then if you scroll over here even further, strokes gained off the tee, it's you got accuracy, but hey, off the tee you're still losing.
Yeah,
but strokes gained approach, he is the number 1 person in the model. So it's a mixed bag with Lucas. So you don't know what you're going to get, but I think there are bits and pieces that you can get to and make a reason to put him in your lineups. Especially. I mean, I wouldn't put an outright on there for him, but he's 7,300 on DraftKings, and he's coming in at about 6% ownership, which is pretty decent. And I don't think it'll grow much.
Yeah, and then one, I guess, just to point, since he's right there, a guy right above him, Eckroat. He's kind of a guy that's just coming into his own at this point. I mean, just won in the fall swing, great recent form, 17th at RSM, 15th last week. He's just gaining all around the bag. And then
who was that? Sorry,
right above Glover, Eckroat.
Oh, Eckroat, yep.
So I've seen him a lot as well this week. But on the model, I mean, he's popping out off the tees first, his last 36 rounds, ball striking 3rd. And then if you scroll over, I think the total driving's top 10 as well, with driving accuracy top 10. So
yeah,
he's one of those guys. And he also has some decent course history here. I think he's played here twice, got 1 top 20, and then I think a top 30, I think. So or 42 and a 12. So
I think he's probably going to be popular this week. So let me see.
Yeah, he's definitely. I think he was most.
Yeah, he's pushing like 15% right now. But so like right there, case in point, 8,700, 8,700. I think Kitayama is right around there, and Kitayama's 12%, Eckroat's 15%. So like you see the discrepancy there. So that's what we're trying to just show you guys there.
And I just looked at his top 20, and it's plus 160. I see.
That's pretty good.
Years past, I would say, wow, like that's a 1-unit play right there. This year, is it like, you know what I mean? Like is it good value?
Yeah.
How many people are going to be on him? So
right. Is it the real? Oh yeah. What's up, buddy? The GOAT himself. I'm here in the flesh. We are ready to get some PGA going this year. All right, and we got Brandon. Who are both of y'all's favorite to win the tournament? If I'm not jumping too far ahead for the stream, we will go at the end of the stream and give you guys our favorite. So we'll always save that for the end, and we'll give you guys a couple of them. And this basically it's what we're describing Tuesday night. From Tuesday to Wednesday, a lot of information comes out. The tee times come out, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is there will be streams where I'm like, yep, he's going to be my outright. He's going to be on there, and this is what it is for this tournament. It won't be set in stone, but I think we have a pretty good inclination that like if I like Tom Kim top 20, probably is going to be one of my favorites to win an outright, to put him as an outright too. I like to personally double down like that. I know Teaser sometimes does as well, but he likes to sometimes you also spread it out too.
Yeah, I think depends on kind of the tournament, I would say, but yeah, I think this tournament's a little weird. They don't have the tee times up yet. Usually they do, so we're not going to have like a definite card yet, but those will be out tomorrow. I know you guys know where to find his, but if you guys won't mind, the Discord links in my Twitter at Bet with the Boys Golf, so you can find that one there as well. So
yes, sir. So yeah, we will have them out within the next 5 to 10 minutes or so as we continue to go through this Sony Open. We got Steph. What's going on? I'm late, but I'm here. Dot and friend, what's up? We're ready. That is my boy Teaser. My boy Teaser. Bet with the boys, aka Teaser Nation. We're old school X right now. Old school X. Teaser Nation. All right. So some sleepers, some oddballs that you can maybe throw a dart, some sprinkle action on for some outrights. Who would be some of them that you would that you could throw into maybe a DFS lineup as a basically a dart play? We're already thinking about some outrights that are off the board.
Yeah, so I wouldn't call it like a big long shot, but I would say it's getting there. I think some got 60 to 1. He might be 50 now, and I really like this. I think he might make the card on the outright as a mid-tier long shot type guy, and that's Daniel Berger. I know that's probably as most risky as you can get with him.
Daniel Berger.
Yeah, I mean the course history, 2 top 20s the last 3 years with a 38th. And I guess the last time he's played there's 2021 because obviously he's been a little hurt the past 3 years with like back and kind of a lot of lingering issues. But I mean, really, his last 12 rounds is kind of what I'm looking at with him. Is with Berger, you kind of have to look at recent form to see like where he's at health wise, see if he's feeling good. So across the board, strokes gained total, he's gaining over 1 stroke. His last 12 strokes gained tee to green over 2. Off the tee and approach is around 1, and then ball striking is around 2 around. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with him. I think it's a great, mid-tier to long shot play this week, and I think he feels comfortable here as well. So it's his game too, and kind of pops in the model as well. I think he's about 15th in the model. If you look there, I mean, he's going to be pretty accurate off the tee, total driving as well. So
who was that in the model? Berger. Yep. Let me throw that around.
Yeah, so he's around top 30 accuracy, total driving.
He is 15th in the model. Yep. Yeah. 15th.
Yeah.
I talked about him earlier. It's kind of that same boat, 50 to 1. I think Harmon is a good fit here, as I talked about earlier. He's, 50? His top 10 is plus 400. So I think Harmon's got some good value. Another guy that I liked in that 50 to 1 range, you got Chris Kirk, who has had good course history here. And then JT Poston is a good one at 35 to 1. And then if you want to go very, very long shot, I think you're probably, Glover 80 to 1 if you really want to, even though I probably said against it as earlier.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll down and see if anybody else stood out. I wouldn't touch anybody past that.
I will say one.
Or Kuchar. Kuchar 75 to 1 if you really want to sprinkle some, or Horschel. Horschel's kind of intriguing at 75 to 1.
I do like as a long shot. I think Horschel would be probably my favorite out of that group.
He's top 10 in the model?
I know
he's 5th in the model, which is surprising. I want to see what he's put his ownership at for his 10%. So he's got a little bit of ownership to him. So that's not bad. 75 to 1. I feel like that's pretty good value there.
I think that's probably the best value right there.
I don't even know what he's done here. Let me look. I think he's Horschel. What do we got? He's got a top 10 finish.
Does he?
He's got a 68th, 7th, 36th cut, which he was horrible off the tee. And then last year he was top 20. So what's his top 20? That's another solid bet then.
Yeah, I think with him, you can't really. Ever since last year, he's kind of revived his career a bit. He went through that struggle.
Plus 240. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's a good value.
Hmm.
With him, just look at last year. He's playing well now. I know he went through a 3-year spurt where he was just kind of horrendous. So
Yeah.
I think he's a good play this week too.
All right. So we're gonna do a new segment this year. Towards the end of the show. Unfortunately for this one, we don't have the matchups, but this will be for next week. As soon as we get matchups posted on Tuesday nights, we're going to basically have a little spin-off on the one and done. So if you've never done a one and done before, basically you're in a league, you're in a group, and you pick one golfer to win the tournament. You get ranked based off points, and you can't use that golfer for the rest of the season. So we're doing a spin-off of that. We can still give our recommendations. You can kind of go with one of our winners, maybe if you guys are in your own ones. But we're going to give you, we're going to keep our record off of a tournament matchup. So tournament matchups. So that means all 4 rounds. So if someone misses the cut after round 2 and one of our guys makes the cut, that's an automatic dub. Okay. Automatic dub. But basically it would be, so say in this tournament, we pick Billy Horschel over Matt Kuchar, and Billy Horschel is -1, Kuchar's even, he ends up winning. So if we win our tournament matchup, we're going to get 3 points. And if we pick a dog, say Kuchar or say Horschel was +110 over Horschel or over Kuchar, you're going to get an extra point. So we're going to keep a running track of it. We're going to put them out on Threads. We're going to put it out on Twitter.
And you can't use that player again, right?
And then we cannot use that player again. So it's a little bit of a spin-off off of the one and done. So we're basically a 2 and done where we're going to pick 2 of our best round matchups. So it gives us a chance to not necessarily win the tournament. An easier chance for you guys to place those bets and see, maybe I go 0-60 this stream, and then teaser goes 60-0. So we'll see. It'll be a little competition that we're going to run. Hopefully brings you guys back to the stream each and every week, and helps you guys out, basically winning money for sure. So with that, we won't do that this week, obviously, because there's no matchups posted, but we will definitely do that as soon as they are, hopefully next week. And then we will go into our outrights. So we've kind of had talks over our top 20s, top 10s that we looked at. We have some sleepers that you guys can target in both DFS and in the outright market. So give us some of those people that you're necessarily targeting at the top of the model or the top of the betting odds for an outright. Yeah,
I mean, it's always, how I am with this guy. It's always going to start with Russell Henley at 20-1. It's a solid number in this tournament, in this field. I think he started at 22, so it's not like I'm losing too much value there. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the course history is kind of what I like to see. And like this, I mean, I know Henley's game, just watching him for a while now. This is his course. Approach wise, I think he's gained like a stroke or 2 here every time he's played here. So, I mean, it's really with him is the approach, and then all about him making the putts. So everything's pretty solid throughout the bag. And then I think last year, just not really, model wise or anything. I think being in that President Cup and playing with Scheffler last year, I think that's going to do a lot to his game, give him a little more confidence this year and, compete and contend in a lot more tournaments and even majors as well. So I think that's kind of a tidbit as well on him. So
I like it. So I would say my top 3 right now are going to be, I think that's still a bad number for him. So I don't know if I'm officially going to take him. I might take a top 10 on him instead.
Who did you say?
Connors.
Okay.
Tom Kim is for sure one of them. And then my other one is the Byung Hun An. Is that how you say that? And if you guys will see throughout the streams, I botch everyone's names, so I always verify it with teaser. But An is at 28-1. His track record here is great. T12 got second last year. I want to say he's going to be a very popular pick in DFS. But I think those three are pretty solid. Obviously, they're three in the top 7 of the outright betting markets. But I think one of those three have a pretty dang good shot to bring home the trophy this week. So Connors, Kim, and On for me currently. But we will have official plays posted on X, on Threads, on our respective Discords. So we will be official Wednesday night, but each and every Tuesday night we're going to be doing something like this as more and more, popular tournaments come around. Hopefully we get more and more viewers, more and more comments, and we will give you guys basically more as a stream. This is week 2 of the 2025 season, so it's fairly new. But glad everybody came, and appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Tuesday nights. So Tuesday nights, we used to do it on Wednesday, and it just felt rushed. Like we had to basically do the stream and afterwards finalize everything and send it out. And we didn't. I feel like I didn't have time to think on a Wednesday night. So I really like these Tuesday streams that we can kind of discuss this a little bit more, maybe go a little bit more in depth, 30 to 45 minutes. If you're watching the replay, sorry, but 30 to 45 minutes is, you guys can, in your car or if you're at work or whatnot. And if you guys do have questions over, the next couple of days, throw them in the Discord or leave a comment on the channel. So make sure before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let's get this one trending on YouTube. We're gonna have a big year, and I really like what we're doing for the PGA. And then I want to go actually watch this new format, that TGL, which is pretty cool. I don't know. Have you been watching it?
I want to know. I haven't seen it yet. I was going to go check it out after this too, see what it's all about. So hey,
we might have some bets for it. Who knows?
Hey, I was gonna take one tonight, but I wanted to see how it is first.
Yeah, it's so new. You have no idea what's going on, right? All right. Well, we appreciate it. We will get up on out of here. We'll be back same time next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you got any questions, hit us up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys.